Welcome back. We're going to be talking about osmosis again, but today we're going to talk about a form of osmosis that occurs only in animal cells, and this is called hemolysis. So let's look at what hemolysis is. Hemolysis is the bursting of red blood cells in blood plasma. It's basically as a result of too much water entering it. So when does this event occur? Hemolysis occurs when a red blood cell is placed in a hypotonic solution. You already know what it means for a cell to be placed in a hypotonic environment. That is an environment that contains a high concentration of water. Or you could also say a low solute environment. And what will basically happen is water will move inside of the blood cell through osmosis. And the cell can become swollen, and it can eventually even burst. This event occurs in blood plasma. If for some reason the concentration of salt in the blood plasma falls, the blood plasma will become hypotonic to the red blood cells and hemolysis will occur. So what is the effect of hemolysis? If hemolysis continues without care, it will lead to something called anemia. And untreated anemia, which is basically very weak blood, will ultimately lead to death. Now, I know you will ask me, what will happen if the concentration of salt in the plasma is increased and the plasma becomes hypertonic to the red blood cells? Well, the answer to that question is something called crenation. Crenation is basically the animal version of plasmolysis. Okay, this is the shrinking of red blood cells or other animal cells when they are placed in a hypertonic solution. And this happens because water is moving out of the cell by osmosis. Both hemolysis and crenation lead to anemia and death if not put under control. And one thing you should also know is this: both hemolysis and crenation are basically irreversible. You can't reverse them. Once the cell undergoes hemolysis or crenation, the cell can't recover. Cell death is the only outcome. Now, in the next video, we'll be using red blood cells to demonstrate the events of what will happen to a cell when it is placed in these different environmental solutions. See you then.